Black Superman? You telling me with all the great characters in the DC universe, the only movie Warner Brothers can make is a movie about a black Superman? Well, Warner Brothers thinks the only way people will watch a movie with a black superhero is if he's wearing a costume a white man farted in, John.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess. The goddess next door takes on the threat of a deadly digital diva driven to destroy the world in this action-packed, all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess featuring a bonus pin-up and the other two books in the Cyber Goddess saga at online booksellers everywhere today. Warner Brothers has decided that the new Black Superman will be Kal-El. Now, this is a head scratcher for many black comic fans who know that the Kal-El character is a white character, and it's more mind-boggling to them because there were already two other black Superman characters. One was Calvin Ellis from an alternate universe, and the other is Val-Zod, who comes from another alternate universe. So it really does not make a lot of logical sense to give us a Kal-El that is reskinned with brown skin rather than go out here and use one of those alternate Supermen. But this is the decision that your Ta-Nehisi Coates and J.J. Abrams are deciding on. And again, it's a real head scratcher when you really think about all of the other options DC Comics has as related to making a Superman movie. Now, the decision to make a black Superman movie featuring Kal-El is practically mind-boggling because Superman is a white character, and as a part of Americana and a part of being one of America's icons, he has always been a white character. So it really does not make a lot of logical sense for Warner Brothers to go out here and talk about making a black Superman movie and alienating large audiences who knew the character as a white male character. But in this age of social justice and this age of what people call woke, you have companies like Warner Brothers trying to passively push diversity, but aggressively are trying to undercut the growing black fantasy and black science fiction markets, where we see a lot of young readers headed towards in the 21st century. And with the success of Black Panther over at Disney, there's another reason to try to sabotage that growth. And what they want to do to sabotage that growth of the black fantasy market is go out here and push this so-called black Superman, who is nothing more than a token diversity character in a hand-me-down costume meant to try to sell to your black audiences passively, but aggressively. Warner Brothers is hoping that this kind of project fails, and the reason why they want this project to fail is so they can come out here and say, oh, there is no black fantasy market. There's nobody interested in seeing movies featuring black superheroes, and we went out here and we made a black Superman movie, but nobody went to go see the black Superman movie. So there's an underlying agenda as related to making this black Superman movie. Yes, like Halle Berry's Catwoman back in 2004, they want to cast a black actor in the role, but secretly they want the project to fail because they want another excuse to keep black images off their silver screens, and they don't want you to see positive images of black men and black women and see images of black men and black women being heroes. So in order to try to keep those type of images off their screens, what they do is they come up with these type of campaigns like announcing, oh, we're going to make a Superman reboot and it's going to feature a black Superman. And that's going to get many of the comic book fans out here upset and not interested in seeing that movie the same way many comic fans didn't want to go see Halle Berry play Catwoman back in 2004. And then after the movie fails, they then use that as an excuse not to ever pursue any of the really solid African American fantasy concepts out there by writers like myself and many others. And they'll use that as an excuse to keep black images off the screen for another generation. So many people, they're just getting emotional about the whole idea of a reskin Superman, not thinking about the chess game that is going on as related to the black image. It's because when it comes down to the black image, there's an effort to try to control what type of media is being produced featuring the black image on these mainstream media platforms. And what they want to do is, again, passively create these kind of stories, but aggressively make efforts to make them fail, like Halle Berry's Catwoman in 2004, and this year's Batwoman featuring Javicia Leslie as Ryan Wilder. So they don't want to see these black heroes succeed, so what they do is create these token characters who wear a hand-me-down costume, and then when they fail to catch on with comic fans and fail to catch on with comic audiences, then use that as the excuse to never go out here and produce those characters who are growing in popularity. Because if your Warner Brothers was serious about trying to capitalize on that growing black fantasy and black science fiction audience, they would have sat there and said, which one of these black characters in our vast catalog could we go out here and adapt? Because there are plenty of great black characters in Warner Brothers catalog they could produce great movies out of. I mean, why do we need a black Superman when we have Icon? Icon is a character who has these really fantastic powers. He's a brother from another planet, and his story, which comes from the black experience, would be a fantastic movie to watch. But Warner Brothers doesn't want to produce an Icon movie because they don't want the black dollar to be seen as powerful, and they don't want to see that, oh, these white audiences, they're going to get upset if we go after that black dollar, so we're going to try to sabotage that black dollar by going and creating a black Superman, watching it fail, and then we can go and still continue to get these white dollars and the dollars from these black nerds who will continue to go and watch these other white superhero movies. Meanwhile, they can again say, oh, the black audience doesn't go see this kind of movie, but this isn't what people want. Again, there's plenty of great black characters out there that could make great black superhero movies like Icon, Static, Mr. Terrific, Vixen. I mean, there are a Cyborg. I mean, a whole host of black DC characters that would make fantastic superhero movies. But, Warner Brothers doesn't want to go after that black dollar because they don't want to alienate all of those white comic fans, and they also don't want to perpetuate an image of black people having great power. That was one of the reasons I believe that the Snyder Cut was buried, because that movie showcased a black man having all of this power and being able to go out here and save the day. So that was one of the things that I believe made people uncomfortable about the Snyder Cut, was seeing that black man in a relationship with his father, one, and two, seeing a positive image of black manhood between that father and son, and then three, seeing that black man come out here and save the day and actually do what those other heroes could not do. And that's why they practically, as I see it, shelved that film and then decided to get Joss Whedon to reshoot that film, because they didn't like the idea of seeing that black man having that kind of power. And seeing black men have power like that is something that makes many of these white executives and even some of these black nerds extremely uncomfortable. So they'll sit there and try to support a black Superman movie that is probably going to be destined to be as disastrous as Batwoman Season 2 and Halle Berry's Catwoman, because they, again, are going for that white acceptance and that whole idea of whites having power, because they don't like the idea of seeing a black person have power. And the whole idea of a black Superman is something that I see as really racist, because you're saying that, oh, Superman has to be a different color in order to appeal to black audiences. Meanwhile, we already have a character we want to see called Icon. You don't want us to see Icon, but you'll give us this token black Superman, and then think that we're supposed to accept this token black Superman who really isn't Superman. He's basically, again, a chocolate-covered Kal-El. He's not Calvin Ellis. He's not Val-Zod. He's a token just designed to basically be a segregationist type character, where he's the black version of Superman, similar to the black version of Barbie. It's like we can't have our own distinct character. We have to have this reskinned knockoff. And that's an insult to, again, all of those black comic fans, all of those black sci-fi fans, and those black fantasy fans who have been buying these comics regularly. I mean, this is a slap into all of those comic fans' faces and telling them, oh, here's a black Superman, when you already have a large catalog of characters. You are practically ignoring characters like Icon, Static, Hardware, Mr. Terrific, Cyborg, a whole Black Lightning, a whole Vixen, a whole host of characters. You're going to ignore characters who possibly could give you Black Panther dollars at the box office and do blockbuster merchandising, but because you don't want to see a black character rise above the white characters, you come out here and passive aggressively sabotage this movie before it starts. This Superman reboot, you could have done this with your Henry Cavill and had a really big hit, but instead you want to go out here and create a token black Superman using two of the worst creators ever to grace your film. Your J.J. Abrams, who has never been good since the second season of Felicity, when she cut her hair short, and has failed to catch on with concepts and destroyed concepts like Lost, Alias, Star Wars, Star Trek. J.J. Abrams is a hack extraordinaire who has destroyed every concept he's touched, and then you go get this pro-black faker, Ta-Nehisi Coates, who has destroyed every character he has touched, from your Black Panther to Captain America, and every one of his runs has been absolutely dreadful. But this is the man you choose to write the screenplay for your so-called Black Superman, who I call a black saboteur, because this is all about trying to sabotage your black fantasy market, your black sci-fi market, your black manga market, your black comic book market, and prevent those markets from superseding and taking audience and market share from these white characters who have suffered over the years due to years of pushing these token diversity and social justice agendas. That's the thing that has undermined the comic book industry, and it looks like it may undermine the movie industry, because nobody wants to see a token black Superman in a hand-me-down costume that a white character farted in. No, we want to see one of these great original black characters, whether it be from DC Comics or from one of these great indie creators out here. We want to see those characters get their chance in the spotlight, and we want to see those characters get that chance to really shine on screen. That's what many black comic fans want. That's what many black sci-fi fans want. That's what many black fantasy fans want. We want a chance for our characters to get their shot at being on screen. We want to see their stories told, and we want to see some diversity as related to thought, and we want to see some diversity as related to the black experience on screen, because Superman's experience is not the black experience. It's not black culture. It was created by two white guys, Siegel and Schuster, and they don't understand what a black person with superpowers would go through. That was something I wrote in one of my stories, Isis Imitation of Life, where I talked about how the Isis character had to keep her powers under wraps during the days of Jim Crow and had to use different approaches in order to empower black people. And again, Dwayne McDuffie, when he created Icon, came up with a similar concept, because being black in America is completely different than being white in America. And the whole idea of a black Superman, really, it just whitewashes all of our black culture and our black experience away. And you just can't put a black guy in a white man's costume and then say he's that hero. No, his experience is different. His culture is different. His interpretation of a hero's mission is going to be different. And that's something that we're not going to see in a black Superman movie. And that's why I think Michael B. Jordan decided to walk away from this project, because he sees that this is a disaster that is on the level of Catwoman 2004 and Batwoman Season 2, because a hand-me-down hero in a hand-me-down costume is not the real character, and people want to see the real character, not some knockoff who's putting on somebody else's suit. And that's just not fair to all of those, again, black comic fans, black sci-fi fans, and black fantasy fans, to give you a hand-me-down hero by a pair of hacks. And again, this is all, again, a part of a bigger picture. Many people don't see the chess game being played. They don't see how this is all about keeping you from being able to see black heroes on screen. Yes, they'll give you a black Superman, but then they'll use that as an excuse to not make that Icon movie, not make that Static movie, and not make other movies featuring other black characters. And that keeps us from having real diversity on screen and having a real diversity of thought related to the black experience. Now, if you want to try some of my stories featuring black heroes and black heroines, like the Isis series, the E-Steam series, the John Hayes series, and the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, you can find all of those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them on Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, The Temptation of John Haynes. Give in to temptation and pick up this action-packed African-American paranormal romance. Get The Temptation of John Haynes in paperback and e-readers today. Now available in paperback. Those who refuse the gift of eternal life are condemned to wander in the darkness of eternal night. Get your copy of